Hi, it's Karen W. from the Kitchener Public Library, and I'm here to share the instructions on how to make your very own Nomament. Just grab your kits. You need some glue, any kind will do, a ruler, a pair of scissors, and a workspace to work on. And we're going to make this together. I'm going to turn the camera down so you can see what I'm doing, and let's get started.
So you're going to need some glue. So I'm using a glue stick. You can use any type of glue that you want. I'm just going to clear my workspace. I have the first two pieces I'm going to be using is my paper cone and then the tunic, the red felt right up there. There's an edge on your paper, so we're going to fold that in a minute, but we're going to attach this piece of red felt to the very base after we make our cone. So the first thing we're going to do is fold along that little line on the bottom. I used a ruler to do that. We're going to glue it securely, and then we're going to roll this and press down just to the edge. So just start at the point, hold that, roll it into a cone shape. I just press along firmly along that line, and so the glue can affix. And once you've adjusted that, made sure the glue's where you like it, you're going to open up the cone, and it should look like this shape. So you've got a nice cone shape. And now we can start step 2 with our tunic, red felt at the bottom, or whatever color you've got. Apply glue all along the base of your cone. Mine's gotten a little bit furry because I'm trying this a second time so I can show you. And you're just going to line up your felt, press it. I start at the seam. You line up the base, wrap it around, and press it down. And you want it to cover everything, so you can pull this felt a little bit to adjust it. And you can trim the base. You can put it on your table, put a couple fingers at the base, and roll it around to make sure the glue's on everything. So make sure your felt's connected everywhere. If there's a gap, sometimes you just have to glue that little space in there and you can pull the felt to make sure that it's going to cover any parts that aren't covered at the back. So just give it a little pull, make sure it's nice and glued down. And now we're ready for step 3. Now we're going to start on the hat. So I'm just taking the hat felt and I'm wrapping it around loosely just to get a sense of what I want it to look like. And the position, remember, your hat felt will be many different colors. Everybody has different kits. So you just want it to be able to be loose enough to sit over top of the beard and the pom-pom. We're going to add glue along that edge. It's got the little tab kind of shape. Add liberal glue. This is thick felt. It will take a lot of glue and it might take a few seconds to dry. And then you're going to start at the point again and roll it just like you did for the paper cone. We're making another cone. You're going to just press it down. So run your fingers along the seam at the back and hold it for a second to let the glue dry. If you have a glue gun, this will be instant, but be careful if you use a glue gun. And then just check all your seams, so you might have to apply a little bit more glue to make everything close up. So just take your time with this. So now the hat looks like it's pretty much done. I gently pull the base so that it has a little bit of that wide brim that looks much more like a real hat. So just hold the seam and gently, you don't have to pull it a lot. You're just pulling it a little bit to give it a little bit more shape. And that's going to sit over top of our cone. So eventually we're going to glue that down. But first, once you get it exactly how you like it, and I think that's looking pretty cute, then I'm going to start on the beard. So you should have colored felt. Everybody has a different color, and you should have a pom-pom for the nose. So now we're going to start designing the beard and the mustache. I pull a little piece off because I want to make a mustache that's going to sit above the beard. So just take a little piece and set it aside. Now you can decide how you want to shape your beard. This is 100% wool felt. It's been dyed. And if you twist it or press it in, it will hold different shapes. You can decide whether you want a thin beard or a thick beard. It's completely up to you, and that's going to be glued down in a minute. So just play around with it, twist it, test it out before you glue it, because once it's on, it's a little harder. And it's on the opposite side of the seam. So now I'm getting ready to add the mustache. So again, just shape it however you like. You can pull the ends, you can twist it, you can cut it with scissors, and just play around with it till you get a shape that you like. And then we're gonna add it with the pom-pom. Just test it out before you glue everything down. So you can have lots of fun with this and try it out with a hat, and then you're ready to go. Oh, once you've got your beard and mustache exactly how you like it, you're gonna add some glue liberally along the front as wide as the beard and mustache, and it's on the opposite side from the seam. Glue on your beard, glue on your mustache. You can adjust this and manipulate it, and you can also trim it with scissors. And I like to leave a little space for the pom-pom nose. So just try everything out, test it all out, and then we're ready to glue every part down. I try everything on all together. I don't glue the hat down yet, and just keep adjusting things. Add lots of glue, especially for the pom-pom nose. Play around with the mustache. This is your craft, so you can make this look however you want it. And this is about probably 1.5 inches down. But again, you can make your gnome however you like. I like to twirl his mustache so it kind of sticks up at the end, because I think that's kind of a fun element. So just play around with this, use your scissors, and you get to be like a gnome barber. We're now going to use this larger rectangle. It's not the long, thin one. This is for your feet. It's gonna be this orangey yellow, or it's gonna be black. I like to fold mine in half and leave it folded. And we're just gonna cut a roundish edge. So I'm cutting it kind of like a little foot or boot or shoe shape. Then once I've got this the way I like it, so take your time, I'm going to cut it in half. Then I'm going to be able to add lots of glue to the base. And this is going to be attached inside the cone. And just attach that to the inside right under the beard. So it's going to be the 2 feet, and it looks something like that. And it's probably about a couple inches across. So just to make, but you can put them wherever you like, and then your little elf can stand on his feet. So now we're ready to start with the belt. So I like to add a little bit of lace to my belt. You do have a piece. You can decorate this with markers or do whatever you like. So add a layer of glue to your belt, and we are going to press down a thick layer of that. Oh, it's sticking to me. And then I'm going to press down the ribbon and trim that so that it sits right in the middle. So just take your time. You can make this whatever decorations or look you want. I'm just going to trim that edge, add lots of glue if it's pulling up. And then when I'm ready, I'm going to turn it over and glue the other side. And then it's going to be added around the middle of the body, so below the hat. So just add another layer of glue. Then glue the other side, and you're going to add this around the middle of your gnome. So just lift up the beard, start at the seam. It goes under the beard and around the middle of your gnome, and then just press it down. And now you've added your belt. So take your hat. I like to put a little glue on the paper cone itself, and then I'm going to play around with where I want the hat position. Now remember, this is a felt hat, so once you have it in position, you can bend this and play around with the shapes a little bit to make it more gnomey. and you want it to sit just above the pom-pom, and just play around with it till you get it. And then I'm bending it back and forth, and the paper will help keep its shape, and the felt also has some shape. So you can play around with it till you get your hat exactly how you like it. You can use any of the little felt scraps to make pockets or embellish your gnome however you like it. So just adjust your mustache, make sure the beard's exactly how you like it. Just play around with this for a second to make your cutest little gnome shape, and the glue will keep it in place. And you can just trim anything you want to trim at this point. So now we're up for the last stage. We've got our little bell. So make sure you can find your bell. It was included in the kit. It might be in one of the folds of the paper. Add lots of glue. That's why it's a little bell. And I just attach it to the top. So if you just hold it for a second with your glue, it will stick. So thanks for joining me to make your very own gnomament. And from myself, Karen W., and the Kitchener Public Library, I hope you have a great and happy holiday.